Here we have the inside of the Swift Challenger 645. If we firstly come to the main control panel just here, we can turn the 12 volt on. Once we've done this, we can turn the water pump on and off on this button just here. Water pump needs to be on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler if it's been drained. If we are filling the onboard water tank, we need to push this button just here, which will then make the fill point on the outside of the caravan 12 volt live to allow water into the tank. Here is letting us know that we have main supply connected to the van and that we're using the leisure battery. If I now press view levels, it will indicate the condition of the leisure battery and will also let you know how much water is in that onboard tank. If we now come down to the Aldi control panel just here, we can turn it on this button. On initial startup, it will let you know if you have main supply connected and will give you an internal temperature of the caravan. If I now press menu, it will pull up its basic functions. So firstly, we need to decide on a power source. We can either run on main supply with a little picture of the lightning strike, or we can run on gas. So if we firstly start with main supply, we can run on 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts, or 3 kilowatts. So just dependent on the amperage of the site you're on. If we don't have main supply, we can run on gas. And if we have both power sources available to us and we want to get up to temperature nice and quickly, we can run in dual fuel. So now we've selected a power source, we can then come up to the top here, and this first one is the thermostat for the heating. So literally just plus and minus, just pick any temperature that you would like it to be inside the caravan. Obviously, if you don't want your heating on, you just drop the thermostat right the way down to 5 degrees to turn it off. After heating, we then have hot water. As soon as you pick a power source, as long as there is water in the boiler, it will start to heat it up. If we press the plus button, we can also perform a boost on the boiler. The boost is extremely handy, especially if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want a longer shower. If you do perform the actual boost though, and your heating's running, it will turn the heating off as it needs the extra power. If we now press the little spanner symbol just here, this is the settings menu. So we firstly have set your clock, set your day of the week. If you then put it on, and if I hit OK and now press menu and menu again, it will then display along the bottom just here. Obviously you need this if you want to be using the night timer. Next we have the night timer. So we can pick what temperature you would like it to be for that period just here. And then we can set a start time, whether it's for all days or individual days of the week just here. And then we can select a stop time. We can turn the timer on and off just here. Next we have the day timer. So again, just like the night one, select a start time. And then obviously if you've got your night time, it will then click in after this one. Circulation pump for the heating system, just literally leave it set to thermal. We only want the pump to run when it's required. Pump mode, just leave it on auto. And pump level, usually between 2 and 3 is suffice. We then have gas mode for summer and the winter months. So if you are going to be using gas for your heating and your hot water, just literally just switch it between and then turn it on just here. Antimicrobial, so you can only use this if you are using the night mode. We then turn this on as well, and then what will happen is at about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, the boiler would then come on, rapidly heat itself up to kill off any bacteria that may be in the system. Temperature adjust for the thermostat, so if you don't think it's quite correct, you can just adjust it just here. Key beeps on and off. Brightness of the screen. Keypad lock. So if you've got young children, you can lock the keypad so they cannot change anything. Language. External start, you do have to have additional SIM boxes added, etc., and then you can control it via a smartphone. Amp meter, so if you know how many amps the site is that you're on, you can pick it on here, and then it doesn't matter so much if you just leave it literally on 3 kilowatts here, it will control itself and stop you from tripping. We then have service, which is more for the workshop, but you can view everything in here. Factory reset if required, and then the translator is also for the technician's use. If we now come to the bench seat just here and we remove the cushions, we can then actually lift up and see the fresh water tank just here, the water pump, and then the drain valves for the Aldi boiler, which just sits here. To drain the system down for winterization, we need to flap up both of these yellow levers and then make sure that this white lever is in the position it is at the moment, and then we can drain the system down. When refilling, just make sure that both the yellow levers are back into the position they're in. If we now come across to the other bench seat, we have the location of the consumer unit. So we have the main strip switches just here. So we've got the 3 individual MCBs, the main RCD and test button just here, and they correspond on the sticker just here. And we then have the 12 volt fuses just here, and again they correspond on the sticker here. We have isolator switches along the top for components that use mains electricity. So this amber one here is for the Aldi heating and hot water. So if this one's turned off, the Aldi control panel will not work if you are running it on mains. This green one here is for the battery charger, and again we want to be charging the leisure battery up when we're hooked up to main supply, so again we can leave it alone. And this red one here will illuminate if you have reverse polarity connected to the van, which you may find on some continental sites. Along the top here, this is more again for the workshop, but if you hit the select button, it will give you a condition of the leisure battery or the vehicle battery if you were hitched up. And we also have full system shutdown just here, so if we're not using the caravan for long periods of time, we can press this button and it will kill any residual draw on the leisure battery. Also underneath here we have the box for the Sargent alarm. The PIR for the alarm is just here. The alarm fob looks like this. The top one is literally just a torch. The next button is the arm disarm button. This next one here will turn the awning light on remotely. And then P stands for program. You can't accidentally do anything just by pressing the button. You do need to hold it down for 10 seconds and then also be looking at the PIR here, because a light will begin to flash and it will then let you know what mode you're in. You do need to make sure that you've got the little instruction leaflet for the alarm before attempting to do this. What you can do with this is put the system into high wind mode, so if the caravan's being buffeted, it will just slow down the sensor to stop the alarm from going off. Also, you can put it into what's known as pet friendly mode, so if you've got an animal roaming around in here, it will not set the alarm off. Next we have the Dometic fridge freezer. So we turn on just here and then we pick the power source just here. So at the moment we're running on mains electricity. If we want to run the fridge on gas, just press here and it will automatically ignite itself. If it fails to light, we will get a beeping noise and a red flashing triangle just here. If you think it may have failed just due to the fact there might be a bit of air in the system, you can press the reset button just here and it will then try again. Next we have 12 volt maintain for when we are towing. At the moment if I press this, it will beep because we are not hitched up to anything. This one here is the unit's anti-condensation jacket. This needs to be on in warmer climate because basically what can happen is the unit can build up condensation behind it, which would then run down and form a puddle underneath it. In the colder months this does not need to be on. And then lastly we have temperature control just here. Both doors can be put into a venting position and it's just lightly push in and then slide out, and then the door can be held on a jar. Above me we have the location of the television aerial. So at the back here we have the digital amplifier. This actually has a single signal finder built into it. We can turn on and off just here and can control the boost just on the dial in the center. To raise the television aerial, just undo the collar just here. And then you can raise your mast. This green window here represents the back of the TV aerial, and H stands for horizontal. So we're sitting like this at the moment. What we can do is turn the tail just here, and we can then turn the aerial onto its side in the vertical position if we need to do additional tuning. Do make sure that the aerial is down for travel. In the overhead storage locker just here we have the head unit, on and off on the source button just here, and then press to go through auxiliary, AM, FM and CD if you had one in. Tune in or change tracks on the arrows, We have an easy graphic equalizer just here. Volume control. If we hold menu in, we can then use the volume button to then go through all of the settings. If you need to change anything, just press the volume button in. And then to turn the unit back off again, just hold the source button in. We have the microwave just here. It is advisable to remove the plate for travel. Microwave, quick start just here, stop just here, and then we have the auto cook selection just here, defrost, etc. In the locker beside it we have the solar panel regulator. We do not need to do anything with the solar panel apart from every now and then just giving it a wipe over. Green flashing light is letting us know that UV light is hitting the panel, and the green light is letting us know that the leisure battery is fully charged. Whenever it is actually charging the leisure battery, this green light will change to red. We then have the hob, so we have the electric hot plate just here, which operates just here, and then we have the 3 gas rings, and that is just push in, twist and press the igniter. Beneath that we have the grill. And then the oven. Underneath the oven we have storage and also a plug plugged in, which is for the hot plate. Beside that we have again storage and some of the gas isolation taps. They are colour coded and match on the sticker here. To be fair, all of the gas isolation taps can stay in the on position. I always say if you smell gas in the caravan, go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Above my head we have the Omnivent fan. To operate, winds to the roof vent just here. And then middle button turns the unit on, and then we have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling. Variable fan speed just by pressing. Do make sure that the roof vent is down again for travel. If we now come to the wardrobe, in here we have the freestanding table and also the header tank for the Aldi heating system. We need to make sure that the fluid level is between the minimum and the maximum. Always take your reading once the heating system is up to temperature, as the fluid will expand in the tank. If it does require topping up, you can do this yourself. Just make sure that you're using the correct Aldi top-up solution. All we need to do is just undo and remove, top it up and then pop it back in again. We have plenty of storage underneath the fixed bed, and to extend it, all we need to do is just pull it and it will slide out, and then we can slot the infill just in. As we now come into the washroom, we have the shower just here. Do make sure that the shower screen is fully clipped back for travel. We then have the basin and the Thetford toilet. To open to the cassette, just slide the grey lever across, push to flush just on top, level indicator just here to let you know when the cassette needs emptying, and then close back up again. Do make sure that this is closed when trying to remove the cassette, because if it's not, it will not come out.